Lisa Byington, can you hear me okay? Good, good. We've got a room full of people that are eager to ask you some questions. First of all, how are you feeling? You had quite the eventful, yeah, you had quite the eventful summer, Giannis, and finally getting that medal for Greece that you've always wanted. I'll start by asking you, how can you build that momentum from your personal success in the summer to this season in the NBA? It's all good things. All right, Giannis, we're going to open it up to the room, and Jim will get things started.
Hey, Giannis, Jim Ozarski, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Good to see you.
What up, Gene? I miss you this summer. I really did.
Miss you too, bud.
Can't wait to see you, man.
You do.
Right now, I can see your face. I can see like the back of your head.
Well, we'll start. We hear a little rasp in your voice. John said, you tested positive for COVID, which is why you were in Greece. So I guess we'll just start there. Is there a little disappointment with not being here to start training camp? Not necessarily to talk to us, but to start training camp and kind of get this thing going to maybe, build that foundation early.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely disappointed. Yeah, I say bummed out that I'm not able to be there with the team and just like get this ball rolling and as a leader, I don't feel good. I don't feel good about this. But at the end of the day, like this is life. Things like this you cannot. You don't know when it's gonna happen and how it's gonna happen and how you're gonna feel. So right now, again, I am definitely bummed that I'm not able to be there from day one, and I want my teammates to feel my presence and feel my seriousness and how much I want to compete and for us to have a great year. But at the end of the day, I think they will understand. And if I'm not there today to see them, I'll be there in a few days, and we get the ball rolling.
I know you did an interview with Harris in Sport 24 kind of late in the summer after Eurobasket. But however, through May, June, July, August, there was a lot of reporting about your thoughts on the team and concerns or where you may or may not want to be this season. Was this different? Was this summer different? Because I do know you evaluate all of the things in competing for a championship, but was this summer different than your typical summer evaluation?
I think as a team, we had a great summer. We added some great pieces. Obviously, Mark Tennis is going to be huge for us. I really believe in this team. I love that we're younger. I think I'm the oldest guy on the team, right? Maybe I know Finesse is the oldest guy on the team. So we're young. We have energy. And I think this is a team full of dogs. Guys that they know their role and go and try to do the best to fit into the role and try to help this team be great. So I'm excited, man. I always try to take it day by day. You've known me for a lot of years and deal with what I have in front of me. And right now, Milwaukee, I think it's a great team. It's a sleeper, and a lot of people might not take us serious, but I think we're a very, very dangerous team.
And again, name and affiliation. Earl, go ahead.
Earl Stokes, Jammin' 98.3 Radio. Giannis, you've accomplished so much already. What part of your game are you still hungry to grow this season?
What part of my game I'm hungry to grow this season? Let me think about. There's keep on sharpening my tools. Keep on sharpening my tools. Be more vocal around my teammates. That's pretty much it. Like at the end of the day, I'm a made man. Like I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at, and I try to always play within my strength, which is attack the paint, create for my teammate, create for myself. Obviously, last year I focused a lot in shooting mid-range so I can give my body a break, and it's something I believe that I could have be good at, and I was good last year. I think I shot maybe like 45%, but this year I want to continue doing that. I want to keep on being efficient. I want to keep on expanding my game, maybe take a step back, shoot a little bit more threes this year. But at the end of the day, this not at 30 years old, about 31, there's not much you can change. You just gotta keep on sharpening your tools, find ways to make your game easier. Like do what you do easier. And I think from the year before 2023-2024 season to the season of 2024-2025, I think I was more efficient and it was easier because I shot more jump shots. So I just try to, stay on course. Like I'm not going to try to change much because I believe that I'm one of the most efficient players in the NBA at this moment, and not just in the NBA, in the history of the game. And I'm really good at attacking the paint and create for my team. And so like there's not much you can change to that. Just keep on adding, keep on making it easier, which is try to shoot more jump shot during the game, so again, it doesn't take a toll on my body.
Go ahead, Eric.
Eric Name, The Athletic. Giannis, hope you feel better soon. I guess we were talking to Wes Edens earlier. He told us about a meeting that you had with him in June where you kind of stated like you are committed to Milwaukee. I guess what kind of keeps you committed to Milwaukee, and what did you maybe see in that meeting with Wes that convinced you of their vision for this team going forward?
A meeting. Say that again, Eric. I had a meeting with Wes.
Yeah, you had a meeting with Wes in June.
I can't recall that meeting. Cannot recall that meeting. I'm not trying to be honest. I can't recall that meeting.
I guess just speaking to that idea, though, I guess what kind of keeps that belief for you that this can be another season where you guys are attacking a championship, competing for a championship?
We're young. I believe in my teammates. That's pretty much it. I believe in the people that are around me. I believe in my teammates. I believe in the moves that they make. We're young. Hopefully we can get on the same page and understand like what's at risk right now. Like the last 3 years, I think. Yeah, the last 3 years we've been eliminated in the first round, so there's not much to talk about. We just gotta put our butts down, put our heads down, and stay locked in the whole year, long, and try to, win some games and hopefully get in the playoffs and then don't get eliminated in the first round. That's pretty much it, and then we go from there.
Go ahead, Steve.
Steve McGargy, Associated Press. I was just wondering, as one of the top international players, what you think of this new proposed All-Star game format with the 2 U.S. teams, 1 world team, having a U.S. versus world type thing. What you think about that format?
I love it. I think it was my idea. Obviously I'm not going to take the credit. The NBA is going to take all the credit. But I love it, man. I think it's going to be exciting for people to watch. I'm going to play hard. I've always been playing hard, but I think it's going to put a little bit more juice to the game. But I think maybe if they haven't thought about it, also to add a live commentator. Like when you go to like the parks in New York or the parks in LA, and people play like 5-on-5, and there's somebody with a mic and they're like commentating and like, hey, LeBron James just crossed KD and went all the way and dunked on Jokic. Like stuff like that. I think you will, because all players have ego. Nobody wants to be embarrassed, and guys will play harder, because they don't want to become, I don't know how you say this, they don't want to become violent. and guys will play harder. So I'm excited for this format. Hopefully I make the All-Star game, because that is guaranteed in life. If I make it, I'm going to play hard like the 9 last time that I've been there.
Jamal?
Hey, Giannis. Excuse me, Jamal Collier from ESPN. You guys made obviously a pretty big move, dramatic move to waive Dame to sign Miles Turner. You obviously spoke highly of Dame as a teammate. Just how did you digest that? How did you digest that move? Obviously losing Dame, but being able to sign Miles. Did you feel like that was something that was necessary to push you guys forward? Just how did you digest that transaction?
For me, there's two different moves. Let's start with Miles first. I'm very, very excited that he's on the team. He's one of the bigs that I feel like we can fit so well together. I think he gives our team so much depth. He's one of the best bigs in the league. He can take you off the dribble. A great defender. I've heard that he's an unbelievable guy in the locker room. Very high character guy. So I'm very, very excited for him. And I think that was an incredible and great move by the Bucks. Dame, as you guys know, I have a great relationship with him. Always will have a great relationship with him. I understand the business side. We had a conversation that I would like to keep between me and him. He understands it. I think he's in a very, very happy place right now back home in Portland, and a team that he played a lot of years in, a team that welcomed him with open arms again, in his probably one of his lowest moments in his career after blackouts and Achilles rupture. So, going back, I think it's such a good move for him and for his family, to be around his family, to be around people that love him and people that support him. So I'm very, very happy for him and excited for his journey. And my friendship with him will be bigger than basketball. So it's love that move. That Miles Turner that is here with the team, and Dame, obviously everybody knows it's a business side in the NBA, and we have to understand that sometimes that you can be in the business side of things.
Nazir?
This is Nazir Spencer with 620 WTMJ Radio in Milwaukee. Giannis, I just want to know, how excited are you to play with Miles Turner? I know the fans are extremely excited to see you guys get on the court together. That front court's going to be unstoppable. I just want to hear, your thoughts on that and how excited you are.
I'm very excited. As I said, he adds another level to our team. I've played against him for many years, and he hasn't been fun. It's been fun at moments, and at other moments he has not been fun. So it's a guy that I said that we complement one another game so well, and he will create so much space for me, and will create so many opportunities for him to be great also. So I'm excited. I know that people are excited. I know the fans are excited, but I think me and Miles were more excited than everybody.
Lori?
Hey, Giannis, it's Lori Nickel from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us when you're not feeling well. You made it very clear how important Eurobasket was to you and how personal it was, but I wondered if you can help explain that to Americans who maybe don't know about the double and triple teams all the time, or how competitive it is, or maybe just the fact that your family was there and could see you play. Your boys might be old enough to remember that someday. How do you explain that to the U.S. side? Thanks.
So, representing your national team, it's one of the biggest honors that you can receive. For our national team, we had so many years that we had in medal. In the history of our national team, I think we've had 6 medals, so you can understand how much important to bring a medal back to the country is. It's something that, when you play a knockout game in the semifinals, the whole country stop everything that they're doing. They take day off from free time from the work to sit down and watch the game, because everybody supports the national team, and as a player you have so much, at that moment you can impact and inspire so many generations. Because for me, the first time I really watched basketball was 2005 5 or 6 when I saw the national team beating the USA team, and there was the guys, you guys know, Baby Shark. It was called, but his real name Sophocles Skorsianidis. That inspired me. That hey man, like maybe I can play in the national team one day. Maybe I can like be one of those guys. And at the time, I wasn't even playing basketball. I was playing soccer. So it's one of the biggest thing that I've accomplished in my life. I'm happy. It was one of the things that I wanted to do. I'm happy that I did it. And we have a tournament 2027, I think, World Cup, and then 2028 Olympics, and then again the Euro 2029. And I cannot wait to be a part of that again, and hopefully we can win more medals with that team.
Earl?
Giannis, Earl Stokes, Jamming 98.3. Your brother is back on the team this season. What does having Thanasis alongside you once again do for your spirit, your focus, and the energy you bring to the court?
Yeah, obviously I love that Thanasis is on the team. I've played so many years with Thanasis, and he's such an incredible leader. He's such a vocal point in the locker room, keeps everybody together. We need that with our team. And also he brings energy whenever he gets opportunity. He's ready to go. And again, I think I'm used to Thanasis. I've played so many years with Thanasis. I've played with Thanasis, with the Bucks, with the national team, with the previous team that Philadelphia coach that I was back in the day with Thanasis. So I'm kind of used to having him around. We kind of live in the same apartment complex back home in Athens. But again, as I said, people don't understand how much valuable he is to our team and how to keep everybody accountable, to keep everybody together. He's like a glue guy, the ultimate glue guy, the ultimate teammate. And I'm just happy that he's back with us.
Giannis, we got time for two more. We'll go with Dario.
Giannis, Dario Melendez, WISN 12. There were a lot of reports this offseason that you might be open to possibly playing elsewhere, even though you've made it clear you want to be in Milwaukee. Was there any truth to those reports?
No, of course, yes. This guys every summer there's truth. To every report. The same thing I've been saying my whole career. I want to be in a team that allows me and gives me a chance to win a championship. And that wants to compete in a high level. I think it's the service to basketball, is the service. To the game. To not wanting to compete in a high level, to want your season to end in April. So it's pretty much the same. It's not the first time. I had the same thoughts. Last year I had the same thoughts. 2 years ago I had the same thoughts. 5 years ago, 2020. So it's never going to change. I want to be among the best. I want to compete with the best, and I want to win another championship. And that's it.
Dennis?
Giannis, Dennis Krause, Spectrum News 1. You said earlier you'd be there in a few days. Are you just waiting for doctors okay to travel?
Yeah, I'm just waiting. I don't know if I can say this, but okay, I don't at this point as well. I'm just waiting for the negative test so I can, leave my house and get on the plane and travel. I don't want to put anybody at risk.
Well, Giannis, thank you for taking the time. We hope you get better soon. I look forward to it. My friend. Get better. Okay.
Recording stopped.
And as we promised, we'll be cycling players in and out here throughout the afternoon. And our first in-person interview, Gary Trent Jr. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you.
How you doing?
Good. I don't know how much you replay the final sequences of Game 5 in your head, but what does the off season look like for you and motivation after the season came to a close in April?
For me, the summer is just staying in shape, getting in the gym, enjoying my time off with family and friends, and that's pretty much what my summer looked like.
Sounds like a great summer.
Yeah, it's
Sounds like a
pretty
great
cool,
off
pretty chill,
season.
most definitely.
We'll get started in the room with Eric. Again, name and affiliation, please.
Eric Name, The Athletic. Hey, GT.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I guess just for you this year, I think Doc has talked a lot about trying to play at a faster pace, get up more threes. It all seems like things that fit your game very well. I'm curious, just the idea of trying to push the pace a little bit more after a year of having Dame and Giannis kind of walk the ball up the floor.
It should be great. We should play, fast pace. Like you said, it's a custom that I should thrive in that matches my game pretty well. So, again, whatever opportunity that's given itself throughout this season, take my best to take full advantage of whatever opportunity is given to me.
Jim?
Jim Ozarski, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel.
How you doing? Good to see you.
Sort of in whether it be front office folks talking about roster building or even on the media side, sample size is usually used, right? Like for lineups and what do you see and how many games kind of matter for things. I guess for a player, what can you take from that back end of the season where Dame was out with DVT and maybe those games he missed in the playoffs? What can you take from the group you played with, how you played with them as you have a vision going forward? You know what I mean? Do you look at 14, 18 games and things like that, or is it a feel, or how do you kind of view that time and then apply it forward?
I would really just say it's really just a feel, Obviously, you had some camaraderie with some guys that are there, but we got some new pieces. So, again, but with Dame being out, obviously, last season, everybody had to adjust on the fly, roll with the punches, come together, fight together, and that's what we tried our best to do. But, but like I said, we got a lot of great pieces this year that, should help us be great for this year.
Gary's still the same row, just a little over to the left with Steve.
Steve McGargy, Associated Press. In that regard, the playoff series you had, the way you performed, particularly late in that playoff series, what kind of momentum did that give you going forth into the offseason in terms of how you could fit in with this team in the future if you've stayed?
For sure. Really just, seeing where I could pick my spots, pick my poison, and how I could help the team, obviously with just different things, whether it's in pick and roll, spacing the floor, running the floor, anything to help, energy giver, contribute towards winning is always my main focus, my main goal, no matter, how I may look.
Middle of the room, Jackson.
Hi, Jackson Gross, BrewHoop.com. Gary, what kind of factored into your decision to come back to the Bucks, considering there were outlets and potentially that you could have gotten maybe more money elsewhere?
Really just due to the market, due to my future and the best chance for me to play winning basketball and to, have an impact on winning and be in memorable games and, different things like that. I had all my options that I had. This was, one of the best ones I had, looking back into it. Just long-term plan for my life and my future and, everything else as of right now, that was my best decision.
Gary, just over one to the right with Jamal.
What's up, man? Jamal Collier from ESPN. Just speaking about this summer, and you obviously had a major decision. There was a lot of reporting and speculation out there about Giannis and his future. Just how for you as a player in the team, how did you digest or go through the summer kind of with that uncertainty or just with those reports out there?
The same way I've done every summer since I've been in the league, same way it's been at every All-Star time. You hear different things, you don't really listen to it, control what you can control. And when it's time to go out there, put your product out there, and then hopefully, it's valuable.
Eric?
Defensively, Doc talked a little bit about trying to force some more turnovers. That's something you've done throughout your career in like Toronto. I guess how does that maybe fit you defensively as well?
Yeah, really just to help me a lot, add in Miles, to the mix. He's young, he's agile, he's fast. He can space the floor on the offensive end, but having Yanni and having Miles back there should give the guards free will to, try to pressure the ball, play hard. And if you get beat, they should be able to have your back just like you should be able to have their back. So it should be a great thing, and he should help us tremendously.
Is that it for everyone? Okay.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Gary, thank you. Interview?
Yeah,
Is that what I heard you say?
I was expecting something different.
Well, yeah, we don't mess around here in Milwaukee. Yeah. Welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
6 years in the league, all with the Clippers, coming off your most productive season of your career. What are you looking forward to most with a new team and now new scenery here this year?
Yeah, really just a new start. Like you said, I've been on the same team for 6 years, so very grateful for that situation. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. Happy to get a new start with my new team, new teammates. And bring what I got.
Well, there's a new media corps to get to know. We'll start with Jim.
What's up, guys?
Jim Lazarski, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Good to see you. Welcome. I guess just what was this off season like for you though? Because on the calendar it felt like a later signing for you. So what went in? How did you view the market?
Yeah,
didn't play out, and then obviously what made you want to kind of get back with Doc and come here?
Yeah, I kind of view it as definitely a different off season. Like you said, I feel like things happened a little late, but just sticking to what I do, just continuing to work and let everything take care of itself. Closer to the end, I got on the phone with Doc and we had a couple good conversations. I felt comfortable with the decision I made to come here and start back up with him.
Ben or Steve? Eric on far right.
Eric named The Athletic. I guess just for you, as you looked here, why did you maybe think this was a good opportunity? And obviously with, a training camp invite, you have the uncertainty of, am I going to make the roster, am I not? Just kind of how you're trying to attack this training camp.
Yeah. Like I said, just some good conversation with the coaching staff, with Doc. Looking at the roster, it's a good roster. And I feel like what I do is can be implanted on this team pretty well. So just knowing what I bring to the table, talking with the coaches, looking at the roster, and I already been in Doc's system, so I kind of know how he coaches, playing style he plays. So it felt like the right decision for me.
Nazir, right down here in the middle.
Nazir Spencer, 620 WTMJ Radio. Amir, you new faces, new city, same system though. How big of an impact do you think that you can have with knowing the system already with DACA and everything like that?
Yeah, I feel like that'd be big. I played for him my rookie year, so I kind of got to learn under him for a little bit and see how he coaches his players, manages his team. So I think that that'll definitely be a helping factor for me. And then outside of that, just bringing what I can to the team. I know what's expected of me. I know what I can do, and just come here to instill it.
Is there any factor that you focused on this summer to maybe implement that into the team this year?
I feel like everything, man. Like summer is the time you work on everything, on your weakness, on your strength, but just trying to get a good body of work to bring another confidence into your next season.
And Amir, middle of the room, Jackson.
Hi, Jackson Gross, BrewHoop.com. Amir, Doc talked about earlier how, obviously playing with a player like Giannis elevates everyone else, but he also talked about that the players around him can elevate him as well. How do you think not only can Giannis elevate you, but how you can elevate him?
I mean, Giannis is you got to know what Giannis do. He's a star. He's a great player. So, him alone just doing what he do, he's a force for other teams. So, I feel like day in and day out, he's gonna bring what he brings, and just putting players around him that can emphasize that. Having floor spacers, defenders, having guys that can elevate his game will make the team better. And myself just being a player that plays on both sides of the ball, can shoot it, get to the basket, play within the offense, play off the ball. Some of the stuff I've been doing in LA, and then also being a defender on the other side, being able to switch and guard multiple positions, and just being, a trustworthy player on both sides of the ball.
Is that it, everyone? We good? All right, Amir, you got through your
Appreciate
first
y'all.
session with the Milwaukee Media. Congrats and welcome.
Thank you. Nice to meet y'all.
And Miles Turner will be next and joining us here in the interview room.
What's up, everybody? What's good? What up? What's up, Lisa?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great.
Good to see you again.
Yes, ma'am. Too.
Make yourself comfy. Welcome to Milwaukee.
All righty. Thank you. Thank you.
Is your arm hurt? Is your arm still good with that throwing that first pitch?
No, I'm good, man. You know
Good?
what I'm saying?
Okay.
I had to shake it
Okay.
off real quick.
All right. What's exciting to you, Miles, about this new opportunity?
Well, one thing I'm doing now is embracing change. You know, embracing this cool part of my career, man. I'm heading to my prime. You know, I'm 29 years old, going to my 11th season, and you know, I'm in a city now that wants to celebrate me. You know, somewhere there's a great quote that says, "Go where you're celebrated," and I feel like that's here. You know, I think that's people are excited to have me here. People are nothing but welcoming, and excited for the opportunity.
All right. We'll open it up to the room. We'll start with Jim.
Jim Lazarski, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Good to see you, Miles.
All right.
Welcome. I mean, for those of us who haven't had a chance to catch up with you since the signing, what was that process like? I mean, obviously the thing had to happen with Dame that's out of your control, but it created an opportunity in a way. And then to decide to leave a place you've been for so long, just what was that relatively short amount of time, right? Like for you and to come here?
It was hectic, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, there's human emotion, that's involved with this business and this process. And I was in a beautiful setting. I mean, I was in Hawaii. Like, can't really complain there. I had to do some business in Hawaii, but I was in the middle of vacation when everything kind of happened. I'm 6 hours, 7 hours, whatever, maybe behind everybody. So and it's my first free agency experience. So it was very hectic. It was different, but I also know what comes with this business. I've been quiet for quite some time, so anything can happen. The blink of an eye, and that's basically what happened there.
Steve?
Steve McGargy, Associated Press. Welcome. I'm just wondering, how do you feel what do you see as your role with this team, and how do you think this being here might change you from the role you had with Indiana?
Well, I have big shoes to fill, to say the least. We have someone who was in Brook Lopez, who was an NBA champion, who departed here. And I know what he was able to be, not only for his organization, but just for the city and just, for the team itself. But for me personally, I'm a two-way player. I'm someone who defends the rim at a very high level. Someone who can also, stretch the floor as well, and make defenses have to respect, outside shots. And with someone like Giannis, who is able to get downhill and command so much attention, someone that can take some pressure off of Giannis himself. And yeah, man, I'm just excited for the opportunity where I'm at. I think there's parts of my game I'll be able to embrace more now that I haven't been able to embrace, in the past. And I think I might be asked to do more now than I've done in the past.
Miles will stay in the same row here with Ben.
Hey, Miles. Ben Steele, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Welcome to Milwaukee. You talked about embracing change, and you've been around the city, going to Brewers games, Packers games. What's it been like getting to know Milwaukee?
It's been dope, man. First of all, coming here, the people have been so welcoming. That's like the biggest thing. It's, it comes to a point where I'm comfortable just walking around in public. People are literally just, hey, we're so excited to have you. Welcome to the city, and they've embraced me. And I think that's something that's it's really cool, and comes with being in the Midwest. Comes with being with a quote unquote small market. I understand how loyal you guys are to y'all's teams, and I felt that. It's been a good energy here. But yeah, I wanted to get it, put myself out there. I think it's very important. Coming here, I know it was a it was a big move, coming to get me, and I just wanted to, reciprocate, my appreciation, if anything. I was excited just to, again, embrace that change, embrace new community, embrace new people, and I wanted to, do as the Romans do, if you will.
Miles, all the way back by the cameras. We got Carl back there.
Hey, Miles. Carl Winter from WKOW 27 in Madison. Just wanted to ask you, we just talked to Giannis. He just said he thought that you guys complemented each other well on the court. What's your relationship like with him, and do you feel the same way?
Yeah, he's someone that I've always respected from afar, not only, for what he's accomplished, in this league, but, the adversity he's been through off the floor, and how he's carried that, into his NBA career. Giannis is someone who's literally accomplished every single award, every single accolade, whatever you want to call it, in this league, and still became so driven. It's very easy, I think, in this league to accomplish all that and get very complacent. But he hasn't lost that edge. And I think that me and him through this training camp process, this preseason, we're going to get a great chance to acclimate. And again, someone who I just respect.
Back to Eric.
Eric Name, The Athletic. Miles, good to see you again. I guess just for you, the whole league is kind of thinking about trying to be the Indiana Pacers, play faster, do all of those things. Today we talked to a couple of your teammates, and they kind of circle you as an agent of change in that way, that you can bring something different at the center position. I guess how much pride do you kind of take in being that modern center that everyone kind of wants right now, and how do you think you can help make the team play faster and do some of those things?
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in who I am individually as a player, because it's something that I'm not gonna say revolutionize anything, but coming into this league, it was guys weren't really doing what I was doing. You had a handful of guys that were defending the rim and shoot three at a high level, and something I put a lot of work into. And being one of the guys who's done it at elite level for quite some time now I think is important not only to me, but it's going to be important to this team as well. Just us playing pickup or getting together in these past couple of weeks, I just encourage high outlets, getting out and running, wings running to the corners, just little simple philosophies that I'm just used to. And I think these guys, they listen to my voice. I think it's been important to be here these past few weeks, just to put a name with a face and you get around with these guys. But yeah, I think everybody has to kind of embrace what this league has turned into. The days of getting 3 or 4 all-stars and hoping for the best, that's kind of over with. Now you get 1 or 2 guys and build a quote-unquote team around them. You guys that are elite role players.
Right in the front row, Nazir.
Nazir Spencer, 620 WTMJ. Nice to meet you, Miles. So for you were in the NBA Finals last year, heartbreaking loss. But can you describe how you're going to bring that momentum over to the Bucks, who have won a championship, and maybe that's one of your biggest goals? But how can you describe your momentum shift to Milwaukee?
Yeah, when not winning the NBA championship gave me a renewed sense of purpose. I think that's something that's been big, for me. There's so many years that you felt like, that was such a long shot to get there. But now that I've actually experienced it, I know what it's like to be in that room, be so close. It's something that drives me, more now. I think, I've had to have a short memory because, it was just 2.5 months ago, whatever it was. Now you're on to your next season in a new situation. So, again, being with an organization that that's done it before, I understand where their mentality is and where they want to get back to. So the fact that we share a similar mindset is everything. And I'm looking forward, again, like I said, to the opportunity, Steve, and be in this position.
To your right, Miles, it's Jamal.
Hey, Miles. Jamal Collier from ESPN. Welcome. For just your relationship for you, I know it's a tough decision, obviously, to leave Indiana, a place you have been for a long time. Can you just maybe talk about your relationship with the guys there, how that, it felt like it was kind of an abrupt split of maybe you guys thought it was coming back and all of a sudden you ended up here?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It's tough in that free agency process, and you can't really just share everything that's going on, share everything that you're thinking, and all of a sudden it's a news ticker on ESPN, and I had a chance to reach out, to everybody, and I sent, on the team, through our group message or whatnot, and it was kind of like, it's kind of bitter, you know what I mean? Because again, you go through war with these guys are, people you consider your brothers, and you don't realize that's the last bus ride you're gonna have with these guys. You don't realize it's the last meal you're gonna share with these guys, like type of stuff, and unfortunately, it is a business, and that's something I've learned over the years. That's something that's always been told to me since I've been here. It's just a business. It's just a business, and that's basically what it turned into. I still, again, there's a human element to this. There's guys that on the team that that I've shared some great memories with, but unfortunately, or fortunately for myself, I had to move on and just put my eyes forward.
Miles again, back by the cameras. It's Scott, far left.
Hi, Miles. Welcome to Milwaukee. Scott Grodsky, CBS 58. You said a few minutes ago you wanted to embrace parts of your game that you haven't necessarily been able to in the past 10 or so years. What will be different about your game here in Milwaukee?
Well, time will tell. I think the biggest thing for me now is just one, being like more of a focal point, especially like offensively. I think that, coming here with Giannis, obviously he's going to be, the main, the guy that people scout and whatnot. But there's a big saying in this league, like you spend time in scouting reports, but as your tenure rises, whatnot, you get bumped up to the top of those scouting reports, And I kind of think that in this position now, that's kind of where I'm at. And I think it also kind of embraces more parts of my game that, I celebrate, whether it's the mid-range, whether it's just, face up, whether it's just, making more reads, as opposed to being just a stretch big, if you will.
And Jackson in the middle of the room.
Hi, Jackson Gross, brewhoop.com. Miles, Doc talked about during his presser that a lot of last season they had kind of played defense on their heels, and that this year he wants to play more aggressively on that end. How do you think you can factor into getting the Bucks back to a more dominant defense that we've seen in years past?
Well, defensive side of the ball is something I take a lot of pride in. The rim protection is obviously going to be what it is, but, different pick and roll coverages. I think that, I'm not necessarily a drop big. I'm someone who's a little more aggressive at the point of attack. Someone who can, get out, attack the ball a little bit more, and also, at times be able to switch out and defend the perimeter as well. And again, kind of just embracing, a different defensive philosophy and different guys. I mean, I think that the personnel on this team, like it's very scrappy, man. And you got a bunch of guys that can actually get out there and get in front of the ball and whatnot. So get after it a bit more.
Miles, that'll do it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. It's a good chant, Miles. You did a good job with that. Bobby, Bobby, Bobby. BP back.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Well, Bobby, you had choices in the off season where you wanted to go. Why was it important for you to stay here in Milwaukee?
Well, I didn't want to move all my stuff. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing. But this is like home, man. Well, it is home. Been here since 2020 during the pandemic when the pandemic was in full throttle. Obviously, 6 months later we went to CHIP, so been chasing that feeling ever since. So it's been great to just partner with an organization that believes in me and they give me everything as well, man, just to, go through all the things I went through in my time here as well. Always having my back, being able to have that, open dialogue, open communication with John, open communication with Doc, and obviously being a leader of the team. It's been a great experience for me being here in Milwaukee. Definitely would have been weird going to another franchise and team. So I'm happy I'm here for sure.
We're happy you're here, too. We're going to open it up to the room. We'll start with Jim.
Bobby, Jim Ozarski, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Good to see you. Last year, you talked quite a bit about Doc and how he let you be you and kind of maybe unlocks or let you do parts of your game we hadn't seen.
Yeah.
And then this summer, you've talked about leadership.
Yeah.
You're one of 3 guys left to have won this title, right? And one of the older guys. Do you think you're kind of hitting that like peak part of your career where you've had all this time in the league, continuity now with the head coach, but also you're getting this sort of off-court chance to be at the front of the team, tip of the sword in that way, which may be a little different. I don't know. Did you feel like this is kind of shaping up to maybe what could be a special year for you in sort of all of those elements?
Yeah, man. Like when the season ended last year and got a chance just to – like normally when the season ends, like I'm going somewhere fast, like may go somewhere, may go home to Arkansas. When the season ended, it was like, dang, like the season is really over. And I was just sitting in the crib, just chilling for like 2 or 3 weeks, just thinking about my future and what was ahead of me. That was my first time really just thinking like, dang, like 10 years in the league, time goes fast. Drafted 2015, it's 2025. Like, and sometimes you get just so caught up in trying to be good, trying to be great, trying to be the best version of yourself every year that the years just kind of catch up to you. So that was my first time just being able to just say, oh, like, wow, like I played 10 years in the league. And then my agent calls me the next day, like, what are we doing next? Because I'm like, dang, like I was just thinking about like giving myself a little pat on the back, bro. Like, damn, played into my 10th season in the NBA. Crazy year. But definitely after he called me and told me we need to be figuring out our next steps on what's next for us, that was my first time really thinking about what's best for Bobby, right? I always thought about what's best for the team. I always thought about what's best for the organization and just winning and things like that. So, we made our first move, and I was able to, re-sign with the team. I got a different outlook on, what was next for us. And what's next for us is, me being a leader, being able to step up and coach the young guys and take these guys under my wing. I've always been a leader, but I think now it's just at the forefront of it where, guys are really receptive of it and really own in what I be saying and just the qualities that I bring. So I'm very excited for the year. I know the naysayers out there may look at our team like I was looking at this meme where put your finger over Giannis, look at the team, like this team isn't nothing. Like I definitely gonna screenshot that and keep that as motivation for our team. We have a lot of guys on our team that can do a lot of different things with the basketball. Our hoop sessions over the last 3 weeks was great. Like it was great to hoop with the guys. Like different makeup, different team, 2 or 3 guys in each position that can hoop. So I'm excited for the year. I'm excited for myself as well, just to see what I can do to help guys, bring guys under my wing, have guys come over, do a lot of camaraderie, just different things to build chemistry. I think the biggest thing for us is us just owning it and knowing that we have enough and just getting better each and every day, 1%. I think sometimes the biggest misconception is guys get to talking about June and September. There's steps to get to June. So just taking a day at a time, man, but we're going to think bigger picture.
Steve?
Steve McGargy, Associated Press. You talked about the new look on this roster.
Yes, sir.
How different a team do you think this will be, particularly defensively? How do you think you'll be different on the floor than maybe in the past?
Yeah, man, even in the hoop sessions the last 3 weeks, you could tell that we're younger for sure. Guys flying around, being able to do the things that really Coach Buck wants, being able to fly around. Maybe, I hate to compare years and teams and things like that, so I don't want to do that. But definitely a different team. We're younger. We're athletic. Guys can fly around. Have a lot of different versatile guys that can switch. Buck had organized these groups. Like we had 4 point guards. We had 5 shooters that's shooting guards. We had the forwards and we had the centers. So we got 4 pods of people. Then you look in your pod and who's ever in your pod, that's who you switch with, right? So it's kind of cool that it's going to be a different year. It's kind of cool that the expectations maybe from the outside isn't that we're going to win or we're going to win championships or whatever it is. But for us, I think our biggest thing is just getting better every day, thinking about, how can I impact winning? How can I help the team? It might not be scoring for some guys. It might be being 3-and-D. It might be getting, stops. I'm excited for the year, and I'm ready to work tomorrow. Training camp is going to be lit, man. We got a lot of guys that can hoop. It's going to be very competitive, and I'm a competitive person, and I honor that. So I'm excited.
Got time for 2 more, and one more after Eric.
Eric Name, The Athletic. What up, EP?
What up, E?
I guess for you, you formed that kind of tag team with Brooke for the last 5 years, and obviously you guys had such a good relationship.
Yes, sir.
I guess, what is it like now to get to do that with someone new and someone as talented as Miles?
Yeah, I think one of the good things, shout out Miles too, by the way. We had a lot of battles over the years. The last 2 years, I think we played 20-something times, bro. It's been a crazy ride. NBA is crazy. You play against all these players, and you never know who's going to be your teammate one day. So, glad me and him never got into no scuffles in the series, right? Nothing like that. But, Miles is going to be a big addition towards our team. I think one of the things I like about him is that me, him, and Giannis will all be probably 30 years old at the same time, right? So we can grow together. We can get better together. And then just 3 big men that can do a lot of things with the basketball, very versatile. front court. So, you know, those three bigs, can't really find three better bigs on another team, I don't think.
And Nazir here in the front row.
Nazir Spencer, 620 WTMJ Radio. How you doing, Bobby?
Yes, sir.
So you have been talking about being the leader, being one of the front runner leaders of this team now.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, you guys won a championship a few years ago, and you guys got a young team now. Can you just walk me through how important it is for you as, you know, as the player you are and as this team, this young team, at being that leader for this new team?
Yeah, man. I'm very much so thankful for how my career has went. Obviously, everybody wants to be all-stars. Everybody wants to make max money. Everybody wants to be the guy. But with me in general, I'm happy that I got drafted to the Chicago Bulls. I had great vets, Joakim Noah, Kirk Heinrich, Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, Mike Dunleavy, Najir Muhammad. You know, I can keep going. And being on that team has prepared me for this moment now. I remember my rookie year, I'm sitting around asking these guys every question in the world. And I catch myself in the locker room, just get done hooping. And there's 8 guys asking me every question in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like it's me now. Like, it's me. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a full circle moment for me to even be in the league, going on my 11th year, which is crazy to say out loud. But, you know, I'm definitely excited for the year. Just being able to see what we can do for one, but being able to, you know, grow together, get better as the season grows. Every year is a new challenge. Every year is a new obstacle that you have to overcome. So, you know, when adversity hits, our group will be ready. We'll be ready for it. It's going to hit every year at some point. It might hit early, it might hit in the middle, might hit in the end, but at some point it's going to hit, and I think we'll be ready for it. We have a great makeup of guys who work hard, great makeup of guys who I think Doc can actually coach. I think that's going to be important as well. Having guys that's coachable, having guys that want to win, and you got a team full of guys that's counted out. I think some good can come out of it. Got a lot of guys that's underdogs on our teams that's went through a lot of different things in their careers that's given them and gotten them to Milwaukee. So I'm ready.
Thank you, BP.
Let's get it.
Next up, we have Cole Anthony, I think making his way into the interview room.
Long time no see.
Jersey looks good on you.
Thank you. Feels
Yeah.
good. Feels good too.
Oh, good. Oh,
Like
good.
silk.
Look good, feel good.
Type. Yeah.
Sixth year in the NBA, first time in Milwaukee as a player. What are you looking forward to prove to yourself and maybe the rest of the league here this season?
For me, I just want to go hoop. You know, I don't really want to focus too much on trying to prove to other people what I know I can do. It's more of a proving to myself. And so I want to go out there and be myself and just help with this team win a lot of games.
Let's go with Jim. We'll open it up to the room.
Jim Ozarski, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Good to see you, Cole. Welcome.
Appreciate that.
I mean, look, I know that's business as someone who, kind of like Gary, right, where this has been your whole life to some degree. But what was this offseason like with a trade and so different transactions, and suddenly you're a free agent and can pick. So just, I don't know, what was that like for you to go through those things and then end up here?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I got traded to Memphis. I remember the morning I was in New York, I was with my family, and I was like, dang, Dad just got traded. It didn't really hit me. It didn't really feel real. And I was like, dang, this is life. You know what? I'm going to attack this like a pro. My plan was to have a great summer, was to work as hard as I can, be consistent. You know, it was boring, but good boring. You know, I feel like I got a lot of work done and got better this summer. And I'd say, obviously there was a lot of uncertainty. You know, I got traded to Memphis. Didn't know if I was going to be there. Obviously didn't end up staying there. And then got the opportunity to sign here in Milwaukee. And I was like, oh, man, my man G here. I'm like, I'm with Giannis. You know, this sounds like a good opportunity. And so I just remember signing. I was hyped. I think I was in Antigua when I ended up when I got the call, like, all right, we're committing to the Bucks. And I was like, yes, this is gas. This is fire. And from that point on, I kind of started shifting. I'm like, all right, like now I got to kind of shift to potentially playing alongside Giannis, playing alongside, everyone else on this team, Bobby, BP, Big Miles. And so it just kind of started to shift my work a little bit into just trying to fit into this system here. But, it's not too different than what I would have been doing, just trying to get better, working on my shot, my handle, guard and trying to get faster, trying to get stronger. Just I'm always a firm believer, and you can't achieve perfection, but you can get pretty close. And so I just try to work my tail off.
Well, you mentioned Gary, but you're a free agent. You could have went to wherever. So did you look at the backcourt and, okay, how do I fit in with either these guys, and then I guess maybe what'd you talk to Doc about your role? Like, how did you kind of process all of the roster and then what he's telling you about what they expect from you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've always felt, when I'm right and when I'm mentally right, physically right, that I can, I don't feel like it's anyone who can kind of match me. I'm gonna be honest, but I think looking at this team, I was like, it's a talented team. We got some young dudes here. Obviously, you got Big GA, who is a one of one. Best player in the world, honestly, if anything. But I was just like, this is a team that has a championship pedigree. They've done it, and I think they can do it again. And I was like, man, I'd love to just be a part of a team that is really playing for some that can go win a championship. Alternatively than potentially going somewhere where I was in Orlando several years where we weren't good. I wouldn't have. That wasn't really my main goal to go do that again. You know what I'm saying? And so I was just the pieces aligned, and this ended up being, I believe, is the right move. And I think, the further we get on, we'll be like, all right, this really was the right move.
Eric?
Eric Name, The Athletic. Cole, good to talk to you again.
Yes, sir.
I guess just for you, Doc's talked a lot about advanced passes and trying to pick up the pace. As a point guard, someone that's going to have the ball in his hands, or maybe not have the ball in his hands, as Giannis bringing it up, just how do you feel like you can help as a leader to start playing faster and to get this team going?
Yeah, I think, the way this team is built, if we play fast, we got dudes that can shoot it. We obviously got – I keep saying this, but Giannis is in transition is who's stopping that? I just think that, I think playing faster makes a lot of sense, especially with the group that we have and the way that the NBA is trending. So I think that I think I can fit right into doing that. Just, I like to play fast. I think I'm pretty fast myself. You know what I'm saying? I can kick the ball ahead to whoever, and just at the same time, I think I can thrive in the open court too. So I think it makes a lot of sense for this unit, especially really to want to play fast.
And middle of the room to Jackson.
JacksonGrossBrewHoop.com. Cole, what is it like to not only play for one of your dad's former teams, but be able to wear his number in the same city he played in?
Yeah, I mean, this is a true, I feel like, full circle moment. You know, I wore my pop's number in Orlando, which was cool. You know, got to honor him there. But like now to play on a team that he was a part of at one point, wearing the same number, I just feel like, you know, it's not a lot of NBA players that can say they've done the same thing. They say they've done that, and so I think it's an honor. You know, I wear this jersey, the Bucks jersey with pride. I wear the Anthony jersey with pride, and I think it's dope. It's one of those things that's just really cool.
All right, cool. Thank you very much. Welcome to Milwaukee.
Thank you.
I'm told that's it, everyone. Thanks for the time. Thanks for the hang. Did you get your donuts? So that's what I want to know.